this one. Left off right there last time. So why don't I go somewhere else? Yeah, that's a rhetorical question. We'll go here. Connect this. Like so. There's a loop there, so I will make that a little stronger there. Like so, no, like so, yes. That was not what I wanted. Doesn't matter. I'm going to cover it all up. Wow, what a colossal screw up that was. Yeah. So I'll make something of it. Cover this area up here first before I delve in and complete this right here. Same here. Careful first, and then bull in the china shop second. Meaning blundering through the area. Now turn it around. You get it from another angle. The paper's teeth. Enjoy that. They like that. Stroke it one direction, stroke it the other direction. Paper. The cat of inanimate objects. Yes. Right. Okay. And I'm almost inclined to just let it go, but there's some paper poking through that I want to tamp down. Yes, and that's fine. Good enough. Good enough. This one a little bit lighter. Maybe even tap. Yes, a little bit of a tap. Some stroke, tap stroke. The old tap stroke. Yes. Pure stroke here. A little bit more here because it's a little bit too bright at the bottom. Okay. And now that area right there is finished. I don't have to worry about it anymore. Yes, no. Okay, so here. pronounce that circle area right there. Going over it a few times. And now we have a circle. Take advantage of this new angle on the paper and make the paper teeth happy by approaching it from an angle counter to what I was doing earlier. There you go. That's done. Lightly hit this area, stroking it like so. Fill it in lightly so it retains its gray opacity. Okay, now flipping the paper back this way so I can address some of these areas here, and then ultimately this right here. Curved it just a slight bit from its straighter previous incarnation. Then we're going to go back here and fill in this area right there. And flip up like so. Stroke downward. Give that area more opacity. And there, that's finished and looking nice. Now I'm going to deal with this area right here. I think I want to make it fade into white. So what I'll do is flip it around because a downward stroke will prove more successful, I do believe. Start here and stay in this area right here for a while. Venturing out just a bit, but mostly centering my nib on this area because this is going to be the darkest area. So I keep hitting it. All right, stroke the area more so than up here. That means more ink will hit that area. Yes. Of course, I will venture out here because there is going to be ink there as well, but it'll fade to white. Put my nib right on that already established line, thick line there, and stroke like so. Yep. A little more like that, and then we'll be good. Tap it and stroke. Hit the areas that have a lot of paper showing through, but very lightly. The paper is actually buckling, so it's rising up. It's not sitting flat on the thicker paper underneath that I've taped this to, because moisture in the ink, moisture perhaps in my hand, and moisture in the paper, all of this have contributed to the buckling. And that's fine here because it is rising up to meet my pendant. Yeah, it's a little bit on the light side, so I'll just hit this area here so that the gradient is a little bit more continuous. Yeah, nice, good, okay. Now, I'll fill in this area. Black, but I'm not going to just attack it. I'll go slow just like every other place because layering up is always optimal. And tapping it. Okay. And that is fine. Now I pronounce this area or this line here like so, and like so. Darken in this area in here just a little bit, make it gray. Same for there. And this I don't like, it's too white, so I'll just completely fill it in. Yeah. Good. All right. Fill in that little area there. And that looks better already. Work on this area right here, make it curve and meet the curve on the other side of this right here. Darken it so that there's contrast. Very lightly but continuously hitting this area here so that it essentially fills it in, but not all at once. I believe the quality of the ink being laid down comes from the layering. This is essential to what I'm doing, if you're curious, and that is you don't push hard, you push lightly, and you layer it up. Like so. The time that I push hard is when I'm laying down the initial lines and I'm mindlessly making loops. A lot of mindless loops here. There's some mind in it, but not as much as 100% intentional. It's more like guided chaos. All right, back here for some reason, I see something that I wanted to address, and here I am addressing it. Okay. 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 Now I want to work on this area here again. I've been here before, but I will do it again right now. A little on the light side. So I will continuously stroke the page in this direction. Not cross hatching yet. This is just straightforward hatching. I might not cross hatch this area because it may not need it. What do I mean by cross hatching? I mean, well, I will cross hatch. We're gonna another angled direction from the original stroke. That's cross hatching. Cross. You see? Okay. And why do this? Adds more random lines and it gives you greater coverage. You can fill in some white areas that are bleeding through the page or the ink from the page. And then back here. Now I'm going to tap this area. I'm not going to stroke it. Tap. Why? I don't know. I just felt like it. Give it a little bit of a different coverage. Yeah. A little spotted, dotted, stippled. And then break it up a bit as it goes down into this area that's been cross-hatched. different angle. Right, so that blended a bit. Do I want to make this area dark too? I don't know yet. Seems like I do. Now this feels like I'm just rubbing the nib rather than guiding it, just rubbing it over here in this area. Finding the areas that the white of the paper showing through the ink, and then concentrating my effort and coverage on that area. That's the stage I am currently in this area. Just finding those white areas. I suppose there's always something like that happening, even when it's pure white. You lay down your first stroke and you want to cover that area. So you look for areas where the stroke is not, and put the stroke there. And then, let me show you what I mean. So for example, right here, there is no stroke going in this direction. Now there is, you see, but there isn't here. So now there is. There isn't here. Now there is. So you continue to fill in the area where there isn't, so that it becomes there is. And then the ink will build up layer by layer, giving you the coverage you want, the opacity you want, and depending on how smooth you want it, this will determine how much time you spend on it, and also the more time you spend on it, the darker it gets. So if you want it really light, you have to be very careful from the very beginning. If your intention is to make it darker, then you don't have to be quite as careful, because you know you're going to lay down more ink, and it'll eventually smooth out. There's a slight pre-planning involved there in that case. So when you look at it, you have to think, or you will think, what level of grayness, opacity you want. So I previously wanted this to be a little lighter, but now that I'm laying it down, it looks like I want it to be a little darker. Like so. Just a little. For it to blend a little bit to the lighter side over here is fine. That gives it the rounded look, if I'm successful. Yeah, okay. How's that? Okay, so I worked here, and I started out in this area, I believe. No, here. I lost where I was. Right here. And then I worked here. And then I worked here. Then I went down here. And I worked here. Okay, that's today's effort. Oh, and now I'm working here as I'm trying to wrap this thing up. Yeah. More later. That's it for now. Boom. Do you want to take a swing at me? Well, it wasn't unlike there weren't any explanations in that video.